Hey there. Let's talk about something real. Do you ever feel like you're working your tail off, but your bank account is just constantly running on empty? It's a feeling way too many of us know. So today, we're going to dig into exactly why that happens, and more importantly, lay out a clear, simple plan to fix it for good.
This question, we've all been there, right? Staring at your bank statement, maybe a week after payday, and you just have that sinking feeling. Seriously, where did it all go? If that sounds familiar, you are definitely not alone. It's an incredibly common and super frustrating feeling.
You know, this feeling actually has a name. It's called the paycheck-to-paycheck cycle. And it's basically a trap. Your income comes in, and then whoosh, it flows right back out to cover bills and expenses, leaving you with pretty much nothing left over for savings, for fun, for the future. It's a powerful cycle, and honestly, the very first step to breaking it is just realizing you're in.
So how do we even get caught in this cycle in the first place? Well, it's almost never one single big mistake. It's usually a series of common, almost invisible money traps that just keep us stuck. So let's pull back the curtain and take a look at what they are.
The thing about these traps is they don't work alone. They actually feed on each other. That high-interest debt, it's constantly draining your income. Impulse spending creates these little leaks you don't even notice. And then you finally get a raise, but lifestyle creep kicks in, and your spending just rises right along with it. And with no emergency fund, just one unexpected car repair or surprise medical bill can send you spiraling right back into debt. See, it's a really vicious feedback loop.
Let's really zoom in on lifestyle creep for a second, because it is maybe the sneakiest trap of them all. You get a promotion, you start making more money, and you think, hey, I deserve a nicer car, maybe a bigger apartment. And you do. But if your spending just goes up while your savings rate stays exactly the same, you're not actually getting ahead. The real power move here is to shift from that unconscious spending to intentional saving, making sure that every time your income grows, your future wealth grows right along with it.
Enough about the problems, right? Let's get to the solutions. The single most powerful tool you have to take back control, your first real breakthrough moment, is the budget.
Now, I know what you might be thinking. Budget. It sounds so restrictive, kind of like a financial diet where you can't have any fun. But that is completely the wrong way to look at it. A budget is about empowerment. It's just a plan that finally lets you tell your money where to go, instead of you wondering where it went.
One really effective method is what's called a zero-based budget. And the idea is powerful because it's so simple. You start with your total income for the month. Then you list out every single expense, and I mean everything, from your rent and your savings goals down to your morning coffee. Finally, you give every single one of those dollars a specific job until your income minus all your expenses equals zero. That way, there's a plan for every penny. Nothing is left to chance.
Now, if a zero-based budget feels a little too detailed to start with, that's totally okay. The 50-30-20 rule is a fantastic starting point. Think of it more like a guideline, not some strict law you have to follow perfectly. The idea is to aim for about 50% of your income to go to your needs, like housing and groceries, 30% for your wants, like hobbies and dining out, and then, and this is the most important part, at least 20% towards savings and paying down debt. It's a simple, powerful framework to just get the ball rolling. All right, so a budget stops the financial bleeding. It gets you stable, but once you've got that stability, it's time to actually build. So let's talk about how we move beyond just budgeting and start creating some real long-term wealth.
So with your budget now freeing up some cash, you can finally go on the offensive. First up, attack that high-interest debt. It's like plugging a giant hole in your financial boat. At the same time, you start building a 3 to 6 month emergency fund. This is your shield. It protects you from life's little and big surprises. Then you start investing, even if it's just small amounts, to let compound growth work its incredible magic. And finally, you protect everything you're building with the right insurance. This is your roadmap from just being stable to being truly free.
You know, this idea of planning for the future, it's not new. It's not some modern financial hack. There's this piece of timeless wisdom from the book of Proverbs that just nails it. The wise store up choice food and olive oil, but fools gulp theirs down. What's so powerful here is that this isn't about being rich or poor. It's about a fundamental difference in mindset.
And that really gets to the heart of everything. It doesn't matter how big or small your paycheck is, real financial wisdom, real wealth, isn't just found in how much money you can make. It's about how well you manage what you already have. Someone can burn through a massive salary and have nothing to show for it, while someone else can build lasting security on a modest income. It all comes down to management.
So as I start to wrap this up, let's just forget about all the complex financial stuff for a second. I want to leave you with one final thought, something that focuses on the very first, very simple step you can take toward all of this. 15 minutes, that's it. That's really all it can take to just sit down, grab a piece of paper or open an app, and draft your very first, very simple budget. Not next month, not when things calm down, this week. 15 minutes. That one tiny action can be the start of your entire financial turnaround.
Because in the end, whether you realize it or not, your money is telling a story. Right now, maybe it's telling a story of stress, of frustration, of just getting by. But you have all the power to change that narrative. So the real question to leave you with is this: what story do you want it to tell? A story of discipline, of wisdom, of freedom? The choice is completely yours, and it can start today.